When I worked on the first Harry Potter movie, everybody on the movie was at Dailies. And we had roughly 1 hour. And so at 8 o'clock in the morning, I think it was 8 o'clock, everybody would file into the screening room in various states of awakeness. We would discuss their shots. And I noticed that on some days, they went through, seemed like 100 shots. And I was just really impressed with how that could happen. So I started paying attention. I came up with a few conclusions or a few observations. And this is kind of built on things that even before I worked at Domain before, and I worked at Digital Domain after, and I worked at Rhythm and Hughes, the three of the largest studios in the world, if not Los Angeles at that time, and notice how efficiently they would get through things. And so in order to get through so much work, if you had 100 people going through work in 60 minutes, that means that most everybody's less than 1 minute per shot, obviously, less than a half a minute per shot. And some people were done in 15 seconds. But after watching all these different dailies that I would go through and see how people were prepared, I came to four things that you should do to be prepared for dailies. And this is really important for, I developed these four things when I was working in Beijing. I would have to have the translator translate for me during dailies. And in order to make life easier for my translator, I asked the crew to answer these four questions before daily so that the translator could at least read through them. And so that's where I got this, write down, answer the four questions things was working in Beijing. It's not based on anything that I thought of. This is based on my observation of watching other people in other studios work and it being efficiently. And I kind of boiled it down to these four things. So the first thing is that what part of the image do you look at and which part do you not discuss? One thing that I heard in dailies is that some picture will go up and it'll be silence. And the visual effects supervisor, who's going to have to maybe look through 1,000 or more things in a day, will say in an irritated tone of voice, "What am I looking at?" And so your job is as soon as your shot comes up, you tell them what to look at and what to not look at. So for example, let's say you have some glowing smoke effect. So you would say, please only look at the smoke on the left side of the screen. The right side of the screen isn't finished yet. And please look at the timing and motion of the smoke, how long it should be, and how fast it should be moving. So right away then, you've saved your visual effects supervisor the time of trying to figure out what to look at. The second thing is, what changed from the last time the shot was looked at? So if they looked at it the dailies before, you say, well, yesterday you asked me to make the effect more blue because yesterday it was green. And so this is or if it's the first time you look at it, it says, this is the first time you've seen the shot. Two things. Third thing is, what do you, the artist, what do you think should change from the next? So then the visual effects supervisor has not said anything. They say, now I moved it and you told me to make it twice as fast, but in the shot that comes after that, the smoke is actually going to drift like so far, far down. So I think that maybe I need to make it move a little bit faster. So right away, before the visual effects supervisors even had a chance to open his mouth, you told them what to look at, what to not talk about. You told them what's been changed from the last time and maybe why you changed it. And you told them what you think should be done next. And the visual effects supervisor might say, yeah, go ahead and do that. And then you're done. So he knows all these things and he knows what your intention of doing. And so this is a point where you're going to wait for what he would say. It gives the visual effects supervisor time to put his input in. He might say, yep, do that, it'll be fine, or no. Then the last question, maybe after you've given them a chance to talk, is it voice any questions that you would have. And so, and so I maybe kind of alluded to already, you say, well, this shot goes with the other shot. Do I need to worry about that? Or I'm having a problem. I didn't get the animation to work. or I'm unable to load XYZ model. And so you're not solving that question in dailies, but you're alerting it that it's something that you need help with, so that after dailies, other people will get in motion and help you with that. Dailies' main purpose is a status report, a progress report of where you are, gives the visual effects supervisor the kind of overall of how everything is going, making general input. And then Dailies identifies a time that they will schedule a walkthrough for you to go by your desk. So during the course of Dailies, the supervisor might say, or the coordinator may say, we'll come by your desk this afternoon, or we'll come by your desk this morning, or we'll come by your desk right away. And so it kicks off those things. So it's not meant to get into a technical discussion. And I've been in places where dailies were conducted where you'll have like 30 people in a room, and it gets involved in this giant technical discussion, and it's wasting everybody else's time in a room. You do not want to waste the time of highly paid people. You want to get through it as quickly as possible. And if you're prepared for dailies and if you're taking notes, you're going to become impressive to the production part, as well as the design part, the creative part. Creative part's the visual effects supervisor, your boss. The production part is the money part, and if you're prepared for dailies, you're going to leave a good impression on them, and plus you're going to get your work done faster.